Good morning, Tuesday, September 28th. Today we're going to be talking about subtraction of integers, but please complete this warm up, pause, and play when you need to. My class has already worked on it, so let's get going. For that first problem, can someone tell me what the expression is that they wrote? Ashika, can you tell me? Ashika.
6 plus negative 2.
6 plus negative 2. Did anyone write it differently? Okay. Is this the same thing? Negative 2 plus 6, is that the same thing?
No.
Okay, let's pause and reflect. In this first one, what would my answer be? 4. In the second one, what would my answer be?
4.
Okay, it is the same thing. Yes, I understand. I probably would have written it this way as well because the yellow's on the top first. I get that, but just understand it is the same thing. With addition, you can switch things around. Like 3 plus 2 is the same as 2 plus 3. It's the same thing. Okay. For the second one, can you tell me what you put Justin? Very good. 5 plus negative 3 is correct. Take note that we do need to put parentheses around that. If the second number is negative, please do put parentheses around it. I won't take off points. Future teachers might want to get up in the grade levels, but just always put it there because it's a good habit. I call it like the grammar of math. Like you have to put commas. It's like punctuation and stuff like that. It needs to be there. All right. So how else could I have written that? Raise your hand. Yes, ma'am. Negative 3 plus 5. Very good. In both cases, my answer is 2. Very good. Okay. Let's go over the homework. Again, your name at the top. We're all going to have different answers, so I'm not going to do that. 2 things that were not as a person, but their name was the least valuable. Michaela, what was yours? Negative 45. Can anyone beat that? You're worth more than that. You're worth the absolute value of that.
He's worth $45.
What? Who thinks they have the highest value for their name? What do you have, Stephen? Negative 1 can, yeah, Will? Or, oh, wow. That's our most valuable. Can anyone beat positive 1? What'd you get? 9. Wow. Big money. All right, again, that's a reflection of you. Let's check these second 2 problems, or the 2 bottom ones. What were some keywords in this first problem? We had a balance of $35 on a gift card, goes out to dinner, spends $22. June, what were some keywords?
Spend,
Yep.
and $35 is possible.
Yeah, very good. Could I have written this in a different way? Did anyone write it differently, June?
It can also be 35 plus 2, or 35 plus negative.
Let's look at that. 35 plus negative 22. Is that the same thing?
Yeah.
You'll see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're going to be learning today, subtraction, we can actually rewrite it as addition of the opposite value. Like you can add the opposite, add a negative instead of it's the same problem. That's something you can notice. Okay. On that other one, yes, ma'am, talking.
So when you subtract, it's like there's 2 different sides, a positive and a negative. Then you'll have to subtract negative, and positive, and negative.
Yes, very good. She just said like this is a positive number and this is a negative number. When there's 2 different signs, when we solve it, we end up subtracting. We keep which one do I have more of? If I'm thinking of counters, do I have more positives or more negatives? Positives. And how many more positives would be 13? And when I say how many more, I end up subtracting. Okay? That's sort of going to be something we start to be like today. Okay? On this next one, it reaches an altitude of 12,500. Planes typically are above the ground. Okay, so it is a positive number. It descends. Descends, positive or negative? Negative or subtracting. Again, I could have done 12,500 plus negative 625. That's the same thing. And then it ascends. Ascends means goes up, is increasing. So positive 250 before reaching its cruising height. What is that cruising height? So what they did is they like subtracted and then added. Did anyone solve this differently? Did anyone solve it? Yep. June?
I know the chart.
The T-chart. That's what I was gonna see if anyone did that T-chart. Very good. So that positive and negative chart from yesterday that Mrs. Molly's been showing us, those positive values, what were my positive values? And then 250. And then on my negatives, I had 625. Again, you add up all your positives, and my negative 625. And again, when I add those values, you see what do I have more of? Do I have more positives or more negatives? I have more positives, so my answer is going to be positive. And then how many more? The answer is going to end up being 12,125 when you do the math. Okay? There's lots of different ways. This is where I really love math because there's like 12 different ways to do this problem. All right. So before we get into our notes, we're going to look at this question up on the board. So take a second to look at it. It says model the equation -3 plus 5 with counters. We're just going to do it up on the board. Okay. Can I have, will you tell me what I need to lay on my map to model that? So what color would that be? 3 red. Oopsies. My bad. Sorry. 3 reds, 1, 2, 3, 5 yellows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Class, thumbs up or thumbs down if you agree or disagree. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Very good. In that problem, Nicholas, how many 0 pairs are made? 3 0 pairs. Very good. And my answer in the end is going to be class +2. Very good. Now let's look at this. It says what happens to the value? Okay, we said this equals 2. What happens to the value when I add 1 red and 1 yellow counter to my desk? If I added 1 yellow and 1 red counter, what happens to my value? What happens, Devani? 1 more 0 pair, but does my value on the board change? No, because is it still 2? Yeah. You'll agree? Okay, what if I added another? What if I added 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is this, my value equal? It's still 2. Okay, so there's 0 pairs just floating around in the air. Okay, they're just there. Okay, there's infinite number of 0 pairs out there in the world, but it doesn't change the value. This is going to be something important to keep in mind for today. Okay, it's going to be important. So let's go ahead and hop into our notes. We are talking about subtraction today. The same at the top is the same little shindig about what we've been talking about, how a positive has a plus sign, a negative has a negative sign. When we have one of each, a positive and negative, those are 0 pairs, and we circle our 0 pairs when we do our math. So we're talking about subtraction. What were other words for subtraction in elementary school? Instead of saying, oh, subtract this, you could say minus. You could say, how many more? There's another one where you take away. Okay, take away is another way to do it. So those are just all very good words to keep in mind. Okay, so let's do this first example together. 5 minus 3. I'm going to do the same thing I did with addition. I'm going to start with my starting number. On that 5, that could be 5 yellows or reds. Yellows. 5 yellows, okay? So I'm going to just draw them with you. If you want to model along with the counters on your desk, go. Let's actually do this. Let's grab some counters. We're going to put 5 yellows on our desk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 yellows on our desk. Okay, so it says 5 minus 3. Let's change those words. I could say 5, take away 3, right? Do we agree? Yes. Okay. When I'm taking away 3, are those taking away? Again, it's the subtraction sign is take away. Are those 3 positives or 3 negatives that I'm taking away? It's 5 take away. That this sign means take away. It's take away 3. Is that 3 a positive 3 or a negative 3? do you think it's negative?
Because if it was positive, then it would have added this again, and it would have been equal to this.
Well, no, again, the subtraction sign means the word take away. So it's 5 take away 3, so that's actually going to be a positive 3 that I'm taking away. When I model in subtraction, the way that I show I'm subtracting instead of adding is I circle the ones that I'm taking away and I just draw an arrow. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay, so go ahead and draw that model on your page. Okay. So again, you're going to draw your 5 positives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm taking away 3. I say bye-bye. Thank you. Love you. When I take those away, what am I left with? 2. That is my answer. Okay, again, I start by placing 5 positives. I'm just going to put pause. 5 positives on my board, and then I take away 3 positives. When I do that, my answer was 2. Yeah.
Could you also model this like, I got 6.
Yeah.
So could you also do it like 5 plus negative 2?
You could, okay, so we're just putting a pause, okay? She said, could we also do this as 5 plus negative 3, okay? This is going to look a little different. The model will look different than this one I'm adding, but I do, let's see if I get the same answer. If I have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then put 3 negatives, those create 0 pairs. I'm left with 2. Okay, we do get the same answer. We're going to connect those two, how that subtraction and that addition is the same in a little bit, but for right now, let's just focus on the subtraction. Okay, but good question. I like it. So next one, I'll do one more with you. It says negative 6 minus negative 2. So what am I going to start with? I'm going to start with negative 6. Okay, let's do that. I'm going to start by placing 6 negatives on the board. 6 negatives on the board. Then let's take away what? Okay, so do y'all see how that take away, that's a negative. In this case, it was take away 3. This is take away negative 2. There's the difference. So when I take those away, I say bye-bye. Bye-bye. What am I left with? Negative 4. Okay, take away 4 negatives. Oh no, take away 2 negatives. And my answer we said was negative 4. Okay. Y'all want to try? Oh no, we need to do this together. Okay, 6 minus negative 2. Go ahead on your desk. Go ahead and set that first one up. I'm going to say 6 what times? 6 positives. 6 positives. Okay, let's start with that 6 positives on our desk. Okay, but let's, again, instead of saying minus, let's say take away. This would read 6 take away what? 6 take away negative 2. Oh, well, wait, what's the matter? There's no negatives. Look, how can I take away negatives when they're not even there? Okay, so this is, oh, Will, do you have an idea?
It says subtract.
It does say subtract, but again, subtract means take away. I don't have any negatives to take away. I can't circle anything. So this is when we're going to go back to this little lesson. What was I saying in this little lesson? There's 0 pairs just floating around, okay? So I'm just going to add some 0 pairs and see what I can do, okay? If I add, so right now there's positive 6 on the board. Yes? Yes, okay? If I add a 0 pair, what does my board still equal? It's still 6. I haven't changed anything. Could I just keep adding 0 pairs and nothing's going to happen? But when I add those 0 pairs, I'm just going to add 2 for right now. Do I now have some negatives on my board? Yes. Could I take away those negatives? I sure can. But what's going to happen when I take away those 2 negatives is that those 2 numbers are now like, they're unpaired, so they're going to add value to the board. okay? When I have those zero pairs, but again, I'm just taking away the negatives. So that's going to unpair those zero pairs, and now I've added 2 more to my board. So not only is it 6, it's actually going to be a total of 8, okay? So I'm going to start by placing 6 positives on my board. Okay, then it says to take away 2 negatives, but that's when we said, uh-oh, I don't have 2 negatives to take away. So what do? We add 0 pairs until you have enough negatives to take away. Again, when I take away just part of the 0 pair, that it's like an invisibility cloak. It's like, woo, I'm here, okay? And it says that that's going to add to the value, so that's going to now make it a total of 8. Okay, so okay, let's pause in that and let's sort of see if there's another way I could write this. Is there another way I could start with 6, have a 2 somewhere in there, and then end up with 8? What's another way that I could do that, Ava? 6 plus 2. Do we agree with that? 6 plus 2 is 8? Okay, exactly that. What's going to happen, remember, I sort of showed you, and Taka was helping us out, when I can rewrite any subtraction problem to actually be an addition problem. Okay, we saw that a little bit in the homework. Sorry, I'm like flipping back and forth. We said that this equation on the top is the same thing as adding the opposite. I kept the first number the same. That first answer is the same. I added the opposite number. Y'all sort of see that? Okay, let's go back to the notes just to see it one more time. Again, I kept the first number the same, 6 and 6, but I changed it to adding the opposite of negative 2 is positive 2. Okay, so I'm going to let y'all try. I know it's a little weird for y'all. That's okay. It's going to be weird, okay? But try this next one out. Try modeling it, setting out the first number, saying, okay, I need to take away this many. Use 0 pairs if you need to. Pause and play when you're ready together. All right, so who can tell me what I'm going to start with? Even if that's as far as you got, what are you going to start with, Carolyn? I'm going to start by placing 10 negatives on my board. And I saw y'all rocking that. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, again, this is negative 10, and then I need to take away what? That's a positive 7, because again, that's the word take away. That's going to be 7 positives. We need to take away 7 positives. But uh-oh, what happened? I don't have any. Oh no. Okay, so I need to do what to fix that? I need to add 0 pairs. Okay, if I just add that, is that a 0 pair? No. Okay, I need to add both of them. Abe, do you know how many 0 pairs I need to add to the board? I need to add 7. 1, 2, 3. I can do this quickly and count out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then someone else, what's the next step that I can do now? What can I do now, Michaela? I'm going to take away the positives, say 5, and then again, all of those negatives become unpaired. So they now add value, or in this case, take away value. So in total, I just have a bunch of negatives. How many negatives do I have, class? 17. Negative 17 is my answer. Okay, so is there anything I can do? Yes, I'm going to add 0 pairs until I have enough negatives to take away. My answer is negative 17. Okay. Again, subtraction, I think it's weird to look at that because when I see this problem, I'm not going to just know it's negative 17. When I rewrite it as an addition problem, that's when I can calculate it in my head. Okay. So let's practice rewriting this equation. Again, the whole saying for me to remember is I keep the first one and then I add the opposite. Okay, so that just means I keep the first term. I'm going to keep negative 10, and then I'm going to change it to adding the opposite. Can someone try and write that new expression, Damon? Negative 10 plus negative 7. I kept the first term. I changed it to adding, and then the opposite of positive 7, class is negative 7. Okay, and this right here, I think is where y'all can do those calculations in your head, because the addition of integers, people rock the socks off of. Okay, so I just always encourage you to rewrite it. Okay, and that's what we're going to practice in that next little step. Okay, on this, we're just going to say subtracting is the same as adding the opposite. We're not going to solve, we're just going to practice rewriting. So what I want you to do is rewrite them as addition problems. I want you to try first before I tell you the answers. But again, it's keep the first and then change it to adding the opposite. I'm going to pause and play. All right, I'm not going to pull 6 because I know this one's a tricky one. Can I have volunteers to try it out? Okay, just try it out. Watch me get the first one.
4 plus 7.
That is correct. 4 plus 7. Okay, the next one. June. Negative 4 plus 7. Very good. Haley, you want to try that next one? Very good. And then the last one. Negative 6 plus 4. Okay? So take a second and actually check that you got all those right. It's going to be easy to miss a negative. Okay? I saw this, y'all are going to laugh at me maybe just a little bit. Miss Lytle on Instagram, she follows a lot of teachers, a lot of math teachers, and they come up with cute little ways to talk about things. That's how I get like my top and bottom out, whatever, with the washing machine with absolute value. What I saw for this one, in science, have y'all studied like Newton's laws of motion, like the equal opposite reaction, that kind of thing? For every action, there's an equal opposite reaction. Have y'all heard that before?
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay. We'll see if this works. Okay, so if you only, I saw a teacher do this, I was like, okay, it could work. So when I rewrite my equation, I can't just change one thing. I can't just make them all addition and expect to get the same answer. For every action, for every change I make here, I also need to change the second term. So I add the opposite. I add the opposite. I add, what's the opposite of 4?
Negative 4.
I add the opposite. I add the opposite. Okay, I'm just going to put a couple more up here, okay, just in case you missed it. Okay, so again, I have to keep and add the opposite. So what is this new equation for this first one? Someone I haven't heard from. Can you try it out? Someone I haven't heard from. Andrew? Again, because you add the opposite. I have to make 2 changes. Negative 4 plus negative 3. That's the same thing. Okay? Keep and add the opposite. That new equation for the second one would be, Devani? Try that one more time. I'm changing it to an addition problem, so I have to add the opposite. 5 plus 2, because I have to make 2 changes. Okay? It's weird. This is the tricky part, but in the end it helps. Okay? So what I want you to do, you're going to just keep practicing this. Do the models. You don't have to rewrite. I want you to model it and solve it first, and then see if you can rewrite that addition problem. I'm going to give y'all some time. I'll see how y'all are doing after like 4 minutes just to see. Okay? If you like to just write your answers first and then go back and model, I understand that, just as long as you do all the parts in the end. Okay? Pause and play when you're ready to go. So negative 5 take away, negative 7 take away negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do I have 5 negatives to take away? Yes. A lot of y'all are adding 0 pairs when you don't need to. Look and see what you got on your board. Do I have 5 negatives to take away? Yes, I do. You say bye-bye. What am I left with? Negative 2. What is the other way to rewrite this problem? Payment. Negative 7 plus 5. Is negative 7 plus 5 going to give me negative 2 as well? Yes, it will. Okay. Next one, 6 minus 8. Starting with 6, what kinds? 6 positives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I need to take away what? I need to take away 6. Take away 8 positives. Okay. Do I have 8 positives? No. Do I have some positives? Yeah. I only need to add how many 0 pairs? I only need to add 2 0 pairs, because then I have 8. Okay, I'm going to take away all those 8 positives, and I'm left with 2 negatives. Okay, think of it in terms of money. If I have $6 in my wallet, but then I borrow 8, somewhere I'm owing somewhere $2, right? I'm owing some money. Okay, if I rewrote this equation, keep and add the opposite, Haley. Very good. Okay, again, I do have the key, but I'd rather talk through it right now just since it's still new and blue. Okay, starting with, on this one, 1, 2, 3. I need to take away 4 positives. Do I have any positives? No, so I need to add 0 pairs. How many 0 pairs? 4. Very good. Okay, I'm going to take away which ones? I'm taking away the 4 positives. Okay, take that away. I'm left with -7. How can I rewrite this problem? Saki.
-3 plus -7.
Okay, very good. And the last one, I'm starting with 8. What kind? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need to take away 10 negatives. Do I have any negatives? No, so I need to do 0 pairs, 10 0 pairs. Okay, and then I take away which ones? The negatives. And I say bye-bye. And I'm left with 18 positives. Okay, how can I rewrite that one, Michaela? 8 plus 10. Because, again, I keep the first one and I add the opposite. I have to make 2 changes. I keep the first one, I add the opposite. I keep the first one and I add the opposite. I keep the first one and add the opposite. Okay? This part, the rewriting part, takes a lot of practice. You have to make it a muscle memory kind of thing, and that only happens with practice. Okay? I'm going to do this one-word problem, and then, again, those are the answers. I'm going to do this one-word problem and then let you do your own stuff. Okay? Again, it's not always just going to be models and counters. Sometimes we apply words to it too. A diver was exploring the ocean. The diver dove 32 feet below sea level, then dove another 45 feet. What was the depth of the diver? Okay? So keywords in there are, what are some keywords? Take a second. I want to hear, I might call on some random people. Stephen, what was one? Below sea level. In class, that means what kind of number? Negative. So that's going to be a -32. That's where I'm starting at. Okay, I'm starting at -32. And then you can write this in 2 ways. If they then dove another 45 feet, what's one way I could represent that? Carolyn? I can add -45, or I can again start with -32, and what else could I do? Michaela? Subtract 45, okay? Because those are the same equations, okay? Either way you look at it, you're going to get the same answer, okay? Again, addition, when it's written as an addition problem, you can usually do that mentally. Because you're like, okay, I have negative counters plus more negative counters. My answer is going to be what? It's going to be a negative answer. And then to figure that out, take a second. -77. Okay? All right. I want y'all. Go ahead and try this one. It's from the homework it says. Might be on the back side. About Marissa's brother. Go ahead and try that one. Just see if you got it on your own. And then I'll let you be free. Again, just try this Marissa's one. Let me pause the video. All right, Marissa's brother owes her $5, but she owes her mom $12. Okay, I'm pretending I'm Marissa. I am Marissa. So if my brother owes me $5, is that positive or negative? It's positive. So you have to read the whole situation. Okay, some of y'all like to, especially with CAP, y'all like to zoom. Read. Okay, so that's going to be a +5, but she owes her mom $12. In that case, it would be a -12 or a -12. Write an expression to represent the situation and determine how much both How much money Marissa has? Will, is that a hand? Love it. What's one of your expressions?
I put 5 plus parentheses -12.
Very good. That is one way to write it. The other way I saw it on clearance, will you tell me? 5 minus 12, okay, because you're taking away $12. Either way, in both of those situations, how much is Marissa going to have at the end, class? -$7. Gucci Bucci's, okay? For homework, you're going to finish the rest of the packet. Let me say this. Let me end off by saying this as well. If Miss Battle confused you at any point in time, I'm sorry, but it's pretty normal, honestly, with this lesson. What I encourage you to do, you can watch this recording again, and you can hear me talk about it one more time, or you can go to tutorials, because the teachers, the other KAP teachers or math teachers in general, sometimes we say things in a different way, and that might flip through, okay? If something about this is just like, I don't get it, either listen to the video one more time, or come into tutorials just to get some extra practice, okay? Y'all have a great day.